Hello, good morning. Yes, it's another episode of the Market Outlook. Today is on Monday, that is the 4th of September. So it's just things are moving very nicely over here. As you can see, last week things were very crazy right over here. So if this is the first time, make sure that you always follow us on Monday. We always come with this series of Market Outlook to just see what the market is actually just going to do. So if you actually joined last Monday, we end a lot of event that was happening. We were trending NFP news, unemployment news, and a lot of news that were actually happening last week, and we saw a lot of move. And if you actually were following this, if you're following the series, you know, maybe you have made some good amount of money over there, because that is what we do. And we always tell you the truth of what is just happening over here. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis. You know, fundamental analysis, there are a lot of things that were happening last week, so that is the one that I just want to go through in less than 20 minutes. I'm just be done, then we can just go through this, and you're going to understand what we actually expect maybe this week's onward, or if it is actually the continuance of what was happening last week. Let's just see on that one. Let's see what is just going to be happening right over here. Now, on starting all these, I'm going to let's touch a little bit on fundamental analysis right here. And I just want to mention something here so you can actually understand this. Now, we actually saw that the NFP news is actually the non-farm payroll is actually just coming down, because it actually printed the same 187 that has actually printed last month over there. Now, what does this say? Now, the Fed thinks that the recession is actually coming to US, and what we can see over there is that the employment and the NFP actually is actually coming up. So are we still expecting recession? Are we still expecting the Fed to be hiking the interest rate? Then that is a mystery. We may be expecting it to cut interest rate, or maybe they decide maybe to keep their interest rate at the state where they are now. So that is one of the things we'll be expecting to see from the side of the Federal Reserve over there, and it's actually going to be very important. NFP was very important because analysts were looking to that to see what will actually print over there. So it was actually a surprise, because we expected low NFP over there to weaken the dollar, but the result we actually got over there was a positive one, which was more than just expected right over there. Now, without talking too much, let's just check on our calendar to see what is actually happening in terms of the currencies over here. This week we have little of the news that are happening on the other currencies over here. Okay, other currencies are being affected over here. For example, we don't have much about the US dollar. We don't have so much about the US dollar there. So one of the things that we expect, actually the news from the Canadian dollar. So if you are trading Canadian dollar, you are expecting that to be happening this week, because from okay, let me switch to something here so that you can see. I want you to see my screen. I want you to see my screen. Yeah, as you can see on Monday, today is on Monday over here, and I think let me just go to more. I just want to filter to high impact and moderate here, so I hope you can see now my screen now. So you can see today is on Monday, but GDP was printed over here 0.0. So those who are trading GBP on Swiss franc over here, I don't know, I've not checked this move, but this is a negative move over here. Let me just check if this was a very impact towards this one. Let's see. So for CHF to USD, we expect a little bear move over here this morning 10 a.m. Now let's see whether we can see that, or I'm bullet towards USD CHF, but remember, I don't think these are very big move. I can see it. I just want to compare this before we check what we expect. This news around has already happened once in the market. Let's check. GDP is one of measures of how economy is actually just growing. So you can see actually these are very important zone to the USD CHF. Okay, so this is a very important USD CHF over here, and the news that was printed over there, printing GDP quarterly here, was actually one of the sign to put this down one over here. So this is a very important zone, but even if this is a very important zone, you can see the market is still not going above our 70 mark over here, which indicate the market actually will just be overbought around that area. But as you can see, this is a very important zone when it comes to USD CHF. So you can be checking over there to see whether you're going to see the candlesticks that will actually be printed around here. But the news you can see right over here about the GDP that was printed this morning allowed 5 when we was coming live, you can see is actually printed this candle over here about the bear. Okay, this red candle, I think it's because of that news, this red one around this area. So we'll be checking to see if you have the CHF news that will come in this week, maybe to pull this market down one, maybe to 0.86. that is what we'll be checking around over here. So make sure that you follow this. So that is one of the things that we can see. I just wanted to check that because this news has already been printed, but you can see actually according to the GDP that has been printed there, it has printed this red candle here, which is very interesting. Okay, that's amazing. Let's proceed with this one. So this is what we were expecting, CHF to GDP over here. You can see actually it's 0.0, and I'm not going to that much, but as I said, that is one of the measures of the economy, how it's just growing. But you can see is a negative result resulting to the CHF actually to go down over there. Now that is one of the things we can just see right over here. So this is on Monday 4:30 p.m. Legando will just be speaking over here, the ECB president. So we'll just be expecting some news. You can just follow that to know more about the interest rate and adjustment. Okay, we expect the interest rate to be announced over there, to be printed on the Australian dollar. So if you actually trend Australian dollar, we just be checking on that. But you can see according to the predictions that we have over here, it's just remain the same. And the statement is very important because the statement that you just be delivered over here, it's very important because that is what tells us maybe whether we are just going to be having the more hikings in later days. So it's a lot of events that are happening over here this week, especially to Canadian dollar and CNY. So this week, last week was for US dollar, but you can see other currency pairs are actually taking over this week. So that is what you have to be. If you actually trade maybe the currencies that don't have the US dollar, then that's what you have to focus on. So we cannot analyze all these news because there are so many things that are happening, including the trend balance over here and how they're just going to be causing this to be happening. So what I'm just going to do is to check a little bit of a technical analysis on these currencies right over here, like Canadian dollar, and we are going to see whether we have a proof of of here in the fundamental analysis, because you have to balance the moment you actually check this fundamental analysis, if you check an opportunity like the opportunity I actually showed you on USD CHF about the bear market, where we expect a little short over there, then you actually have to come up with to see whether the news actually can approve to that movement over there. We'll be checking even the gold, how the gold has been performing over there in a bit. Okay, this week, as you can see now, the Euro USD, just be checking on that. So you can see we don't have a lot on the dollar. This is only on the form coin. Just be this meeting will just be there, and an employment change, that is what we expect this week. Employment change, unemployment change, I think, so it, yeah, unemployment claims, that is what you'll be expecting this, but not a lot in the dollar. So maybe we'll be having a very cool market in the dollar, gold, all those currencies. Yes, is not be fast because a lot of things happened last, so it's about the recoveries and all those things that will be happening this week. So let's check something like a Euro USD over here, how it has been moving. I hope maybe you will see this. So you can see we have been having this move about the Euro USD. This has been the move that you have been waiting for the longest time. For those who are joining these classes, you know where we started. We are talking about the buying opportunity, where we were actually buying around this area here. We bought around this area, and we actually preserved this move until this time. So we bought around 1.078, 1.078. That is where we bought from, and after buying from this place, the market actually moved to 1.09, creating a very big spips over there. So what do we expect this week? We don't have a lot of news happening, but we may be expecting either this market to actually break. So this zone is going to be very important zone this week, because if it actually being broken over here, then we are going to see this market moving downward over there. But still, I put this market still aiming this market maybe to, you can see the moment this market touched our lines over here, which is our resistance point, it actually reversed back. You can see this the moment it actually reached where it was around this area that is here, it is actually starting to print another reversal. So you can see the same thing happening to the gold over there, but you can see this candlestick over here that was formed over here. So this is a very important thing that we can see over here. This is a 1 day time frame. I'll be checking. Let me check on 4-hour time frame to see over here. So that candlestick that is being formed today on Monday is going to be very important over here, because where the market will be closing, that is where we'll be focusing on. In case this candle actually engulfs this one, the previous of that is on Friday, then we are going to see that market moving very up. And in case this market moves a little bit down, then you are going to see downward over there, because it's just going to change what we call the change of character for those who use SMC, I think so. And you can see this market building up again, so after touching over here, this point over here. But when we actually try to put a little bit of indicators here, I don't think we have. This can be another good entry, so we'll be still waiting for this. But you can see, for me, I actually don't see a very nice one entry over here, though this market was testing this area. So you can see this was a perfect one, testing this, yeah, was testing this and then actually just going up. So that was very interesting. That was very interesting over here. So probably we'll be expecting this market to be moving up, but remember test. Okay, sorry for my audio. Okay, hope now I'm okay. So thank you for the one who has commented. I've checked you right now because I wanted to see that. Okay, nice. So I'll be waiting this move to be coming right over here. This is the zone, the supply zone around this area. So I'll be waiting maybe in long run, maybe in coming weeks, not 1 week, maybe in months to comes. I'll be waiting the GBP actually to be testing this region supply zone. So you can see this zone that was being tested so many times over here, and that is the zone we'll be expecting this maybe to be coming over here. But you can see this market has just been moving all this way, so we can be expecting a little bit higher as the market just goes this way. But you can see it's actually on a weekly time frame, it is actually trying to recover from its highest point, which was around 1.31 over there. So this week is very important, especially today and tomorrow. That will just be very important to see the market moves after what happened last Friday. So over here where we can see on the GBP USD, it seems like I'm going to entry over here, but you know, you cannot only have one proof or two. You just need at least to have a place of confidence where you just have little of confirmation before entering into the market. So don't see a lot of confirmation over here for the buy, although it's just telling us maybe it has opportunity to buy around that region because the market is still on a move over here. So we'll be waiting to see that, because you can see it is still building from after touching this line, which is very important, and still building up to go all the way up. Okay, we have checked the USD CHF, and we have seen the market actually trying to go to the bearish move over there. So that is what we checked first. I want to see something about the Canadian dollar to see whether we are going to be having an opportunity there. Canadian dollar around here. So major currencies. So you can see over here on the Canadian that this is USD CAD. This is a very good thing that is actually building around this area. It's actually approaching the supply zone, which is very important zone, and be looking forward to this. And you can see this one. So the one that I've drawn right here, let me show you. This becomes a very important zone over here. So let's see. Yeah, so I was waiting this market actually to be touching this. I was expecting this market to be touching this. Okay, but you can see still touch this one. It is trying to go up all this way. So this is going to be a very important zone around this area 1.36. This is going to be a very important zone. Why? Because it will be trying to confirm our trend lines over here, to confirm this market is on downtrend around this area again, and after that it will actually be testing our supply zone around this area, because you can see this area again has been tested, and this will be a very good thing over here. So this area will be tested around here, and as you can see we still have another confirmation to tell us this market was actually overbought around this area. If you actually use the RSI, you can try to use other indicators. We was using the other indicators. Maybe I was seeing a little bit of confirmations over here, and we may be seeing this market moving this way from here So we might be seeing this market actually moving and trying to come a little bit, trying to come this way, 3.1.33, which is testing around this region again, testing this area. So that is what we expecting here in this currency, that is USD, CAD, around that area. And if it's me, I'll put my stop loss across this area very close, because this becomes very important. So this is actually a sell limit around this area. So let's see a little bit of confirmation from the news on the CAD over here. We have interest rate remaining the same, which indicate maybe there's no bad thing about that, so no big movement for the CAD over there. Forms will be speaking, employment change actually going over here, making it stronger. So you can see from negative 6.4 to 20,000. This is actually me making the CAD stronger, which means that it can push this dollar. In case they actually print that, it can push this pair downwards, going all this way. And that is what we'll be expecting right over there. So that is USD CAD. There are a lot of things we can just be talking about over here, but let's see on what has been happening on the DXY. So DXY, we end a very good testing point over there, DXY. So after what happened on the DXY over here on the supply zone, you can see around this area, this 1-day time frame, this being a very important zone across this area. As you can see, these are very important zone. These are very important zone, especially for you. This is DXY. As you can see around this area, this move remember we were trending last Monday. We trended around this area. We were talking about this market moving down, and actually moved from this place and went to our rent zone here. That was from 1.4, 1.45, 104.5, and actually went to 103. So that is what we did last I think last Monday. Yes, and this market moved all this way after all those news that happened over there. But you can see it's actually reversing back, trying to build up again around this zone again. So I think when it actually reaches to this zone, it will actually try to come a little bit down again, which will be very important zone again. So this is going to be very important zone. So I'll be looking probably to be shorting this market around this area again, a little bit over there, and that is what you're going to be looking forward on that. Then dollar's been trying to be coming down. So the DXY, the dollar index, this becomes another area to test over here. So the moment it just touches this, then I'll be trying to come up to short this market to this region again. So that is what we'll be looking on the DXY, although there are a lot of things I'll be checking on there. Checking on the gold, let's check on what has been happening on the gold. Remember, after touching 52 last week, after NFP news, where it actually brought a lot of surprise, I was expecting this to be touching this region around this area. So I was expecting this zone to be touched, but there was a surprise in terms of the NFP news that was printed over there, and this market could not reach this area, only to reach that is 1952. So only 1952, because I was expecting this market to be coming over here to the overbought zone, and then touches this region over here, and then just goes back. But what we can see right over here, maybe there's a probability this market may be trying to come down over here. But I consider 1-day time frame being very good in time frames over here. So you can see the good move that been happening over here. So consider this trend not that valid until unless this is being tested, unless this market reverses from this point, then that is this trend line can actually become very valid over here. But what we can see is the market that is trying to fight around that region. So this becomes a very key important point around this area. So what we can see here is the market is actually trying to break these lines over here, but the candlestick that you can see in the 1 day time frame is trying to form a doji, which indicate maybe we may be expecting a reversal from that area, maybe towards to 1900 again. But it's very important to know this over here. So this becomes a very important again point over here, because in case this point is broken out, then we will be expecting higher move. But you can see this market has been touching this area over here and going down, and over here touching here again, and we'll be trying maybe to be going all this way, which we may make this market to be coming around here, which is around 1900 again. So that is what we expecting from the gold around over here. So many people are expecting, maybe even me, I was expecting this market to be touching our supply zone here, and the moment it actually touched that supply zone, I was now expecting maybe to be shorting that market from that area. But actually it just happened what happened over there, surprise on NFP, not what we expected from that. So I'll be looking at that zone for the gold to look for a market. We'll be shorting this one to see if we are going to be seeing down one over here, or maybe it will be an attempt for this market to touch our supply zone. So you can see on the times of, there's something I've noticed over here. If you can actually check this well, we have a very important zone on Euro USD, GBP USD. We have also a very important key on the gold, and also on the USD CHF. So those very key point where they actually touching our trend lines. So it's very important zone to be looking at, because you can make some decision over here, but make sure that you have other indicators, other proofs to, so that you can have more confirmation of that. So I'll be looking on this 1940, 44. If this market goes to beyond 1952, then I'll be knowing that this market will actually be ending to 1980, where it is actually going to test the supply zone before actually going up downwards over there. But if this market just go to 1900, then I'll just know maybe it's just going, these our trend lines over here will be very violent, and I know it will just be coming all this way downward over there. It's just going to be a very good move right over here. So those are the things that I'll be checking over them. A lot has been happening over here. The US oil commodities over here, this is one of the things that is actually very volatile, as I always say. So if you actually trend this one, so we were talking about the breaking of this zone. So this zone becomes very important. You know what we have been talking about, we were talking about these things every time the market actually we're talking about when the market was touching this, it touched here. I told you to sell around this area about this breaking of this zone, and after breaking of this zone, so you can see this zone was broken. And sorry for marking these things. The reason you can see all these markers because I just want to connect from the series of what we have been discussing, so I'm not removed anything from this place. No, what we can see right over here is the market is actually went around this. So you can see this was a very good supply zone around this area. The market has been touching all this many times, and I was counting these 1 2 3 4 over here. If you can actually remember, for those who joined, and we saying in case this market touches here again, we expect a breakout around this region over here. Now what can we expect from the US? Well, because you can see this is very hard, the market is just overbought over here. So what we can actually expect from the US oil is this market to try to little bit come to maybe 82 around this area. So after maybe touching this, then that is the time we'll be expecting this market to be coming all this way up. So those will be very important thing to be looking over here. So if you're looking for a buying opportunity, this is not the time, unless maybe you are looking for a short-term sell that will be coming maybe from 85 to where the market is now to around 82 over there. So that is where we can be looking now for a long time buy, where the market may be heading to 92 to test another point right over here. But you can see the market is already up, and we have been trying now, the market will be trying to correct from that. Even if you check on 1 day time frame, you see the same thing, you see the same things over here. So we'll be expecting a little down on the US oil, the same move moves to UK, Brent oil, crude oil. So that is the move we'll be